Good morning, Delaware. What's going on? It is your main man, Big Ive, the talk of the town, Mr. DETV. Woo, it's special. It's a special week here, man. I'm telling you, we're having so much fun, and I'm glad you're here to join us. Now, I got a special guest coming in live from California. Now, if you remember, if you're a fan of Comic View, Def Jam, The Martin Show, you remember the man that came into the window, right? Bruh, man, from the fifth floor. Man, Reginald Ballard is here on DETV to talk about he'll be here Friday. He'll be here Friday at the Grand Opera House. So, Reginald, how are you, my man?
What's up, man? I mean, same old thing, man. It's out there slanging and banging.
Slanging and banging, man.
Yeah, man, slanging and banging. So, I just got back from we did a big autograph convention, Chiller Theater, do every year, man. It's autograph sessions and it's a big old event, man. Thousands of people show up. And me and Eric Roberts, man, was in the same room doing autographs, Julia Roberts' brother.
Yes. How was that?
Getting it done, man. I just got back from that yesterday. And, just still been out on the road, man. And, did a horror film about a year and a half ago called Supermoon.
Yep. And I remember that. That was a good movie.
They've been doing it, man. Been doing it.
So let me ask you, man, because a lot of people, like, I'm a Martin fan, right? I don't know anyone that's not a Martin fan. Like, how did you get that role? What was that like? Because I look up one season and there's this guy coming right into the window, fifth floor. Like, how did that casting go? How did you get cast for that?
Man, it's funny, man. Eileen McKnight, brought me in to audition. I've done a lot of things before Martin, man. Did True Colors and so many other things before Martin.
Yeah.
There was another audition, man. She brought me in and I did it. And she like, yo, can you do something a little different? And I did it another way. And she said, okay, I'm gonna take you over across the street to meet Martin and the rest of the producers, audition for them. And went over there and auditioned for them, and the rest was history, man. They loved it. Right. And it was funny because that's the only role that I got that actually got on the spot. I mean, usually you have to go back home and your agent will call you and tell you that, if you got the part or not.
Right.
Man, right there, they say, you got the part, and they told other actors, we'll have you for something else, in another episode. So I ended up getting the part right there on the spot, man. That was cool. We had to start rehearsing right then and there.
Right then and there. Sometimes you don't know what God got for you, huh?
Yeah. Started doing it, man.
Like crazy. You said, you did things way before Martin, right? Martin was not your debut. It was something that people recognized you from, but you did things way before. Now, I do remember you from, the Comic View. And when I saw you on Martin, I was like, yo, that's the bruh from Comic View. Like, what was that? Take us back to that time, because Comic View was popping.
Actually, man, I didn't start off as a comic.
What did you start off as?
I started off as an actor. I majored in theater. I came out here, and it's funny. I was doing a play in college called a Soldier's Play.
All right.
And I played C.J. Memphis in the play. And then I was scheduled to do a Raising the Sun, but I told my friends, I said, man, look, I'm finna go to Hollywood and hang with Stallone and them. I said, next time you see me, I'm gonna be on TV. I left, man. The first thing I did when I got to Hollywood was a movie with Stallone. And the next time they see me, I was on TV. So that's how it worked out. But the comedy thing came because J. Anthony Brown he used to warm up the audience for Martin in between takes. He'll go into the audience and make the audience laugh. And then one day he asked me, say, man, can you go to my club in Houston? I got a comedy club in Houston. Can you go and be the host for the weekend?
Right.
And I say, wow. I say, you think I can tell jokes? He said, if you think you can. I said, okay. Then I went out there, started telling jokes, and dude named Vance Bradford saw me, man. And, he said a retired colonel was taking a comedy group across the world, man, to entertain our troops. And they needed a host. And that's how I started doing comedy, man. Been all over in like 20 countries, man. Japan, Panama, Germany, Italy, all over, for our troops. So that's how the comedy thing came about, man. But I tell people today, I'm an actor acting like a comic.
Right.
I can make you laugh about 45, 50 minutes after that. You better come see about me.
So it reminds me of a Japanese story that the soldier practiced ballet, right? So he can move with grace. And a lot of people, so what you're talking about, you went, like you said, you was an actor first, right? You understand stage presence. You understand,
Yeah.
putting your voice out there, right? And now
Yeah.
I just want to add another element to it, which was the comedy. So it worked extremely well, right?
Yeah, and it's funny to say that because the stage movement came in handy because when the first episode I did of Martin, man, I was, like I said, I'm straight out of college, right?
Right.
And it's all about lighting and staying your light and kind of, when you're on stage.
Yeah.
So the first episode, man, when Martin told me he got his chair, the boxing scene, he said, "Get out of my chair, man." So I'm thinking, my mind is thinking college, not film and TV. So when I got up, I'm walking slow so I could stay, even though we have 5 cameras, I'm walking slow so I could stay in my frame so that my mother could see me longer. That walk was not intentional. And then, but Sheena said, "Man, that walk is funny, man. You see that shot I was walking?" And that's how the walk came about, man. Just because I was thinking of stage movement and being in the light enough, which is the camera, so that my mother and my sister could see me a little longer.
I'm laughing, man, because it be like that sometimes. Again, like you just, it just opens, like it opened a whole thing for you, a whole runway for you, just to continue to just going. When people see you in the street, right, no matter where you are, what's the first thing they say to you?
Bruh, man, fifth flow. So, bruh, man, fifth. They always got fifth flow behind it. Bruh, man, fifth flow. And then next thing they say, "Man, you got some sandwiches."
Look, I'm telling you, I can't wait to show this episode to my homeboy Sean because he is a strict fan of you, man. It's crazy. Cool, we were talking offline before we got started, man. Like, and I am fascinated about things that happen to get people there. Was there a time that you met another comedian that inspired you to just say, keep going, don't give up, or anything like that?
No, not really, man. I knew ever since I was in the 4th grade. When I seen my first Bruce Lee, see, I'm a big Bruce Lee fan. When I seen my first Bruce Lee movie, man, I knew that I wanted to be an actor. When I used to go to the movies, watch every blaxploitation film I've seen, man. If you could see the side of my room, I'm gonna clean this camera around a little. Some of the stuff is kind of junky in here, but some of my posters. See my posters?
Yo.
Blaxploitation.
Yeah, man.
That's what I do, man. I mean, some of the other ones right there. See them?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So I was a big blaxploitation movie buff, man. And I was going in the movie theater and watch Jim Kelly, Jim Brown, Fred Williamson, Pam Grier.
Talk to
him. And man, Isaac Hayes and Truck Turner and Shaft. And it's funny, that's what I used to do. I came up in the movies watching those guys over and over and over. And the funny thing about it, man, I ended up working with a lot of them in my career. I worked with Richard Roundtree before.
Damn.
Worked with Fred Williamson before. A lot of guys, man, that I met, and coming out. I remember watching the movie Brian Song when I was a kid in elementary school. I worked with Billy D. Williams and James Caan before.
How was that?
I would have never imagined being in elementary school when I was watching Brian Song that I would end up working with those 2 guys, man. So I already knew that I wanted to be an actor ever since early in my life.
Do you believe dreams come true, my man?
Oh yeah, man. You make them.
James Caan, Billy D. Williams.
Yeah.
All right.
Matter of fact, from Billy D. Williams, what I learned from him, I did Different World with him, and I noticed that he never came out in front of the audience until it was time for him to come out and make his entry in the show. So that's what I did when I did Martin. I said, man, I ain't gonna never come out until it's time for me to come through the window. And it made it so much bigger, man. Every time I came through the window, they used to clap and scream because they didn't see me out in front of the audience in the beginning. There was a surprise. So that's what I learned from Mr. Billy D. Williams.
Oh, man. All right. So Take me to the comic. Was it the Comic Factory? Laugh Factory.
Yeah,
Laugh
Laugh
Factory.
Factory. Laugh Factory.
What was Laugh Factory like?
Comedy. Yeah, Comedy Store.
Yeah, Comedy
Laugh,
Store.
Yeah.
What was that like back then?
Well, I wasn't a big I wasn't a frequent visitor to either one of those places,
Okay.
man. I mean,
Where would you go?
I do comedy pretty much on the road. I never really do it in California.
Okay.
You know, I didn't want to get known as just a comedian, man, because that's, like I said, that's not how I started, man. I wanted to be known as taken seriously as an actor, you know.
Right.
So I dramatic roles as well as comedic roles, and so I kind of stayed out of that life, the Hollywood Comedy Store, Laugh Factory, and stuff like that. But I have performed in those places before, and it's always been it has always been happy and a joyful moment.
Right.
But that ain't something that I don't really go out, man. Maybe I should go out more, I'm always at home, man.
I get it.
If I want to get assassinated, everybody know where I am.
They be like, yo, he had Fat Burger.
I'm sitting right in this same spot.
Right. Watching the old Bruce Lee flicks.
Watching old movies and old westerns, the old black and white movies back in the day, man. And my favorite show of all time is Sanford and Son. Okay. So I watch that every day.
All right. But I got to get this right because I'm a Bruce Lee head also.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Bruce Lee movie?
Well, the one started my whole life change. It was Way of the Dragon, which is known as Return of the Dragon over here. But that started everything for me, man. That started, man, like to this day, man. I never ever had a drink in my life, man. Never smoked, never done drugs, because I wanted to be like Bruce Lee,
Right.
So I didn't know, and I know in the movies he never going to see him do it. I don't know what he did in his personal life, but other than what I read. But so that had to be the most influential movie on me. But I think my favorite one was Into the Dragon.
I got to agree with you on that one, man. I got to agree with you. I got it. I definitely got to agree. Favorite Western, because I'm a shoot 'em up guy too. Fistful of Dollars.
Fistful of Dollars. I just got through watching. Matter of fact, Unforgiven on right now. I just got through watching Good, Bad, and Ugly.
Okay.
But my favorite, dog, I got to go with Buck and the Preacher.
Buck and the Preacher. Okay, that's a good one. You got that.
Baby. Sidney Poitier.
Sidney Poitier. Oh my God.
And Harry Belafonte.
Okay, give me this. Your top 3 black exploitation films.
Shaft.
Okay.
Got to be one of the coldest ever. It's so many, man. I like JD's Revenge.
That's dope. Yep.
Oh, that was a cold one. And it's hard to say, for as I would put a movie that I like that people kind of slept on back in the day was Truck Turner.
Damn.
With Isaac Hayes.
With Isaac Hayes, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I gotta on mine. I gotta throw in there Cleopatra Jones.
Yeah, right. Cleopatra Jones Dobson, baby. Cleopatra Jones and the Casino Go. Cleopatra Jones, baby.
Yeah.
Ask somebody.
I'm trying to tell you. I remember growing up, that's all it was in grandma's house, right? It was those black exploitation joints, man. So,
I like Coffee too. Coffee was a good one.
Yo, I had the opportunity to interview Pam Grier, right? And bro, I was like, yo, that's Pam Grier, Foxy baby. You know what I mean?
Stan, we was tell you this story, man. We was on the set of Martin, so we was on a lot. We worked out at Universal Studios, so in between breaks, man, we not filming your scene or rehearsing. We used to go sit on the golf carts outside and just talk, right? And I think we was on stage 33. So man, we spotted dressing rooms, and Pam was working on a lot. So she was at stage 37, but her dressing room was by our dressing rooms. So man, we was out there shooting the breeze, talking. Man, she came out of her dressing room and came down the steps and started talking to us, man. And I couldn't even open my mouth, man. I was so starstruck, and I couldn't even say nothing, man. I was just looking at it in awe. And she walked off, man, and I was like, God Dog, I ain't even get a chance to say nothing to her, man.
I
But
d-
that's how big she was back in the day when I used to go to the movie. She was special,
she was
man.
it. Yeah, she was, and it caught me too. Right. I go to interview her, and I'm like, yo, that's my Pam Grier. Like, shoot, I get it. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, you
So
give her props, baby. Give her props.
daggone right, man. And it's just amazing to watch, man, like where it used to be to where we are now,
Yeah.
and you coming to Delaware. And so let me be the first to welcome you to Delaware, May 3rd, this Friday. You're here. Doors open at 7:00. What do you want Delawareans? I know it's going to be packed house. Delawareans, Philadelphians, everyone from around the surrounding areas. What do you want them to take away when you get off that fire escape and come walking right into the Grand Opera House?
The Grand Opera is gonna be lit up. I mean, last time, people was complaining about they couldn't get no tickets, but this time, get your tickets. We gonna have fun. I'm bringing the whole nine with me, man. I got a whole lot to talk about. The last 3 years, man, I've been through kidney transplant. I've been through all kinds of situations, man. And so this time, I got a lot to talk about, man. And just think, my wife was my donor for my kidney transplant.
Get out.
Wow. Wake me up 3:00 in the morning, tell me to go pee. I'm like, I don't gotta pee. She's like, yes, you do, because my kidney got to pee. That mean the other one got to pee. They like peeing at the same time. So she dictate everything I do, man.
Oh.
Even if I look at another girl, her kidney tell on me.
Yo,
I got lots of stuff to talk about, dog. Lots of stuff to talk about.
3 years, man. Oh my gosh. And congratulations, man. And I'm glad you're still here, still with us, man. And real quick, let's touch about that, man. How important is it for Black men to keep, get checkups and everything? How important is that important, bro?
Very important, brother. I mean, especially, your kidney function, man. If, we suffer from kidney disease because of high blood pressure and diabetes. So, Black men, if I can tell you, anything that I can tell you that would be beneficial to you, this is one. Get screened, get checked, know your numbers, your EGFR numbers, your creatinine and all that stuff, man. Know them levels and your blood sugar levels, and take care of yourself, man, because it's silent killer. Silent killer. So, for us, as Black men, we don't like to go, like white people, white boys that feel a knot in their leg, they'll go to the doctor. If we feel a knot in our leg, we'll feel on the other leg. And if a knot on that leg, we like, oh, cool, supposed to be there. And we end up getting both our legs chopped off.
Yeah.
We don't go get checked up, man. Get checked up.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think we don't go get checked up?
First of all, we think of prostate exams and, people sticking the finger up you,
Right.
and all that kind of stuff, machoism, man. But no, it's to help you, not walk around. Because I know when I first had the kidney problems, man, I kind of ignored it until my hands started getting swollen and my feet get swollen. And then when my balls got big, like, hey, it's time to go to the doctor. At first, it looked good down there, big. I got the big bulge. I'm like, yeah. But then you get the bulge, and then all of a sudden the penis start going in, and you're like, hold up, man, I can't even see the head no more. So I better go get this shit.
Yo, the boys in my control room are laughing their butt off right now. Yo. And okay, so those were the signs, right? It's saying, yo, something's wrong.
Yeah.
So we got to pay attention to the signs, huh?
Yes, sir. Man, my balls got bigger than softball, man. I was like, oh, something going on right here, boy.
Wow.
And walk around a couple more days just with that bowl.
So now you got the transplant. You're living your life. Congratulations, and shout out to your wife for doing that. There's a gentleman that might be coming to this show. He's a Wilmington firefighter, and he's one of my best friends. And same thing happened to him. He's out on the job. It's time for him to get his physical, right? And they were like, "Yo, your numbers are high." And he's like, "What numbers? And what does that mean?" Yeah. And to find out that his wife was a perfect match for him, and that was a blessing. And he's like, "Look, I'm stuck with her forever, ever." So
you got to, man, because my wife told me, she want her kidney back if I leave. This is a done deal. I can't But man, sometimes I feel like taking this bathroom off and sticking it back up her navel. Taking the kidney. Taking the kidney. Get out my face. The only reason she gave it to me, man, because she don't want to die, because she knew she had to pay the bills by herself. That's the only reason, dog. If it wasn't for the bills, man, I'd have been gone right now, dude.
Yo, this is gonna be a hell of a comedy show on Friday, man. I can't wait. I can't wait. Bro, man, thank you. Yeah, okay, so you gotta give it to me before I let you off, because my following and my fans will not let that happen. Can you give it to me one time?
Yo, what's up? It's bruh, man, from the fifth floor. I'm gonna bring a whole lot of served sandwiches with me to Delaware.
I appreciate it, my man. Friday, doors open at 7 o'clock. Reginald Ballard will be at the Grand Opera House. You do not want to miss it. Make sure you hurry up and get your tickets right now. All right, bro, man, from the fifth floor.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much, bro. Make sure you
All right, man.
Where can people follow you?
Bruh, man _ fifth floor on Instagram, TikTok, and Reginald Ballard on Facebook, man.
There we go. There we go. It's your main man, Big Iv, the talk of the town, Mr. Positivity, keeping you aware and abreast of everything that's happening here in Delaware, from business to laugh stuff, everything to comedy, the things that keep you moving. All right, stay tuned. We got a lot going on. DETV.